Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of Kit Conspiracy. This is actually my first layout using the Sunkissed collection from Pretty Little Studio. And today I am using it with also a mixed media layout for Mixed Media Mayhem, and we are lifting this beautiful layout from Jennifer over at Secrets and Creations on Instagram. So I started out with this rainbow paper and I am using a bunch of gesso to kind of dull it down, and I'm fading it out so that it's not quite so bold. It's a beautiful paper, and I decided to leave it completely intact because the layout is going to be for the little girl I take care of, and she loves rainbow. That's her favorite color. Her room is all rainbowy, and so I know she's going to love it. So I didn't want to kind of make any changes with regard to, making the paper smaller or anything like that. So once the gesso was dry, I went and I put some shimmers on it, and this color is called Blue Lagoon, and I'm primarily putting it over the blue area of the background paper, and then I'm going to bring it up and around where the photograph is going to sit. I sped this up really fast because the fussy cutting took quite a while and the video was already getting really long. So I took the separate piece of paper that had these strips of what looked like paint swatches, and then like um, these scallopy border type pieces on it, and I cut that up. And I'm going to go ahead and use this one, this turquoise one on the page, right over the turquoise spot. And I really like how that looks, and that's when I decided I was going to go ahead and add a little more of this turquoise up around the photograph. The photo is of her at the dentist getting a checkup, and going to just call this layout Keep Smiling. I'm going to use one of the word phrases out of the word pack that we are using for this week's Kit Conspiracy. And I thought that would be perfect for a layout about going to the dentist because obviously, your teeth are involved and you're smiling and all that good stuff. So I wanted to go ahead and use that. Also, you know, the, their dentist is really cool. They do the whole put a video on and headphones so they can watch TV and whatnot while they're there, um, which makes it a far less traumatic experience than what I recall as a kid. I think the dentist is still my least favorite place to go. So I think it's really cool that they have these things available to them these days, and uh, it makes it so much easier and less stressful. So that's why I decided to go ahead and document this. You can't see it in the photograph, but she is wearing sunglasses as well as the headphones. So I thought it was really cute. So I wanted to go ahead and just, get a layout about her in her album, um, about her trip to the dentist. So that's what I'm going for. Anyway, in the original layout, there was a vertical element. I am just rotating the entire layout one turn counterclockwise so that it is now a horizontal element on my page. And then I went ahead and fussy cut out this pink portion from the pink strip on that same paper. And I'm going to tuck it in underneath the turquoise, and I really like how that's looking. These pages or papers are so bright, they definitely need some things to tone it down, and so I'm bringing in some black, and the designer obviously already knew that and brought in some black on those border strip pieces. There is some faux black stitching and black text, and then obviously the words are all black. And I think that really does help kind of settle your eye. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring in more of the black by adding some ribbon. This ribbon is just from Hobby Lobby and it's quite old. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. And it was actually from the scrapbooking section. Last time I was at Hobby Lobby, they didn't have anything like this in the scrapbooking area, so I don't know that it's still even a thing. But it's going to work out perfect for this layout, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. Now I am bringing in the clouds. I think those are super cute. I'm going to tuck a couple in right above my title, and then in the upper right hand corner, I'm using those in place of the florals that are used on the inspiration piece. And then she's got a bunch of buttons on hers. I am going to bring in buttons. They are not part of the Kit Conspiracy kit. We do allow ourselves to bring in additional embellishments and additional scrap papers and such. We just try not to bring in full size sheets of paper. Um, so the the buttons are going to work out really well. So you'll see that in just a few moments here. And same with the ribbon. The ribbon is just an add-on. It wasn't from the kit or anything like that. So any black ribbon or black washi tape would work, or if you have some black paper and a border punch, you could get the same or a very similar effect. May not be quite as textured as what I've got going on here, but it would work just as well. So I'm just laying these down with some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to hold them in place. And then I do think I'm going to go over and take it to my sewing machine and do a little bit of stitching to stitch those down um, and hold them in place. And then I also did stitch all the way around the outside of the layout. And you didn't get to see that because my sewing machine is not set up in a spot that it would be easy to film at. And so you're going to have to look in the close-ups for those stitching pieces and not you won't be able to see them here, but you can kind of see them from the back side. I did a regular stitch around the outside of the layout, and then I did a zigzag stitch over some of the portions of that ribbon. And then I just pull the leftover string through the back and adhere it down with some washi tape just to keep it all in place. I'm inking my pieces up, my ephemera pieces up with some Black Soot Distress ink to kind of make them a little bit more bold and stand out from that background. And I am actually using the cloud packaging from the kit that we are using as a place to do a little bit of journaling there. I really like that. I think it's really cute. It's actually, I put it upside down. The little floral pieces that are falling down are usually up at the or at the bottom of the packaging, but I liked it this way, and so that's what I'm doing. There's no writing or anything on it that actually makes it look like it's upside down, so I thought it was just fine how it was. And also, if I had put it upside down, it would have been tucked into those clouds, and you wouldn't have been able to see all the cute little flowers on this particular layout. Now, if you are someone who purchased the Kit Conspiracy kits over in the Kit Conspiracy Facebook group, um, we are still waiting on a couple of pieces for this particular collection. The manufacturer, Pretty Little Studio, had a problem with their printer that went down, and hopefully you've seen this over in the group. It's been quite a while, and MK, uh, as up till I am voicing this video, still had not received the pack of daisies and the dictionary words that were supposed to come. So I'm still waiting on those, and so is MK, and so are you. You will see at the top of the screen I have a couple of little florals that I fussy cut out, and all I did was I took a screenshot and fussy cut a couple of them in case I wanted to use them. I don't actually even know if they're the right size, but I have them there just in case I decide that I would prefer those better than like the buttons per se, and then I would hold off on finishing this layout until I received the little daisies. But I decided I liked these buttons. They're super bright and super bold. They come in a variety of colors. I purchased these at Walmart in the kids craft section several years ago, so a very long time ago. And I really just like how they look, so I'm going to go ahead and go with those. And I did start by using some embroidery floss and putting it through and tying a knot on the top of each one so the little tails were showing. But I decided I was too busy and too much, so I decided to thread them in reverse so the knot is underneath the button. So you just get the little crisscross of black thread at the top rather than the little ends hanging out. And I like that a lot better. I don't make you sit through this whole process because it's quite lengthy of a process to sit there and just string buttons. Um, but once I got that done, I decided I needed a little bit more of this black ribbon somewhere towards the top of the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to the top of the photo here. I think that's really cute, and I like the way that that looks. And I'm letting it kind of set up before I trim it off. And just in case I need to move it or want to cut it a little bit longer or shorter or whatever. So um, as soon as you start pulling on the ribbon, it kind of goes out of whack and doesn't stay straight. So I decided I was just going to leave it there and let it sit until it sat up. And I do use my liquid glue for that as well. You could use like tear and tape or something like that, sequin tape. But I just use my liquid glue because then if I go and run it through my sewing machine, I don't get the residue that's left from the ATG or the tear and tape or whatever on my sewing machine needle. The dry glue, it just pokes right through and it doesn't leave anything on the needle. Yeah, it does. It might dull my needle a little bit, but that's okay. Um, my needle doesn't have to be super sharp to go through paper anyway. I pretty much 90% of the time, that's all I use my, oh, 98% of the time, who am I kidding? That's all I use my sewing machine for. I don't really use it for paper too much. So now I'm just playing around with where I would like these little buttons to sit. And then I'm using some glue dots to adhere those down. The pink one, the pink cloud there, I did pop that up onto a little bit of foam because the added dimension of the black ribbon needed a little bit of height behind the cloud so that it didn't get pressed down onto the paper, or bent, I should say. And same with the title, it is up on foam tape as well. I'm just adding a little bit of carnation media gloss spray. I'm going to add some turquoise media gloss spray and some fuchsia media gloss spray to my layout to finish it off and just give it a little bit more of a mixed media feel. Actually, maybe I didn't use the fuchsia. I guess I didn't use fuchsia. I used it on a different layout. And then I pulled out some black Nuvo drops, and yes, you can fall over right now. I'm using Nuvo drops. I hardly ever use Nuvo drops, especially not as drops, but I'm going to give it a try, and I'm doing them really close to the buttons because the buttons are going to provide a nice way of keeping the page protector from touching those Nuvo drops, because I know they're not supposed to flatten, but I have had them flatten. And that's why I don't like them very much. So I feel like the buttons are going to help support the page protector from pushing up against them and flattening them out even once they're dry. So that is it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. The original inspiration piece is absolutely beautiful. I don't know that I did it quite justice, but I'm happy with the way my layout turned out. So that's all that really matters. And I think that she will be too. So don't forget to check out what MK has on her channel today. She is also doing Mixed Media Mayhem, but also a Kit Conspiracy layout. So check that out. Her link is below. See you soon. Bye-bye.